So the New River is 300 million years old. It's one of the oldest rivers in the world, along with the Nile. The headwaters are right here in Watauga County, flows through Ashen-Allegheny into Virginia, eventually emptying into the Ohio River and then into the Mississippi.
New River Conservancy is a 40-year-old organization that has been protecting the waters, woodlands, and wildlife of the New River for all those 40 years. What we do starts with the science and the research. That influences our education practices, and then that influences where we do the protection and where we do the restoration work that we do.
So our New River Water Watchers program started in 2008. The importance of our water quality monitoring program is kind of what you see here behind me. This is going to be one of our big restoration projects. And without people out monitoring the river and the quality of that water, we don't have those early warning signs of problems that you might not be able to see. So those people and those volunteers are pretty vital to our restoration programs.
It was a one-day, actually a half-a-day program. Courtney Waite was with the New River Conservancy then, and she did the training program for us. It was a classroom kind of thing. We got the book, and she went through the steps of the processes for each of the tests. As you can tell today, I'm still using that book. You know, 5 years later, I'm not committing it to memory. I'm like, okay, make sure you do these things in the sequence that they're supposed to be done.
And the first thing I do, other than take the air temperature, which I did earlier, is to go down to the creek with this bucket and the temperature gauge, thermometer, turbidity tube, and I'll measure the depth column of the water in the creek. I'll take a sample to do E. coli bacteria testing later. I'll take measure the temperature of the water, and then I'll get a bucket's worth of water to do the pH level testing and get ready to do the dissolved oxygen test, which it'll take place at the house.
The parameters that volunteers are collecting are being collected because A, they're simple to do. You don't have to have really complicated equipment, and you can be trained in it relatively quickly. And B, because they're pollutants that are common across the watershed, you might expect to see problems with. And so by having citizen monitors, we can hand that data off to the state and say, here, we've collected this, you might want to investigate this problem further that this monitor has identified. I also publish that data online, so you can go out and you can see it. So there's a tangible aspect for the volunteers too. They're not just collecting data and not seeing it go anywhere. They can go and basically click on a map and see, okay, I've collected this data, it's graphed on here, and you can see how this water quality has changed. These people can go and talk to their friends, their family, and their communities and kind of share a little bit of that knowledge.
The health of the water, in turn, it takes care of the health of the plant life and the animal life that's there in the water. So, and in my case, my health. The water I drink is that same water. So.
The river is right here in town. It's a huge part of the culture. It's a huge part of the community. And we take pride in the fact that we're in the headwaters.
This particular volunteer work that I do is more linear. It's sampling water that flows into the North Fork of the New River, and of course the North Fork is going to flow north to the confluence where the two forks join, and then on into Virginia. So it's more of a contribution that I feel like I'm making to the river that's far beyond Ashe County. I think we're looking to try to get more volunteers, to have more folks in the creeks around the river to be able to monitor the water quality. It's a precious place. It really is a precious place, and this little bit of volunteer work to give back, that's just the least I can do to give back to the community.
It starts with the people in that regard. If the stream's impaired, we want to fix it. Here's what we can bring to the table to help fix it. Will you join us in that?
Lucky, lucky lover, your hands are just your size. You've got a bucket full of salt water, each drop from your eyes. Don't wish away the old days, you're burning lips, sharp tongue. You've got a heart the size of God's backyard and plenty of good soil.